Okie dokie. So in this video we're going to look at how to use sidechain compression to create a little bit more interest in your bass line. So in this project I've just got a basic sort of house beat and bass line using long notes. We'll just have a listen to this and see if you spot the problem. So what you might be hearing there is that the kick and the bass are very much fighting for that low space. So we're going to use sidechain compression to help them duck out of the way of each other. So this is the technique that we're going to use. It's called ducking. So what we're going to do is apply the compressor, so that's in dynamics, compressor. I'm going to apply that to our bass line here. We're going to take a sidechain input from the kick of Big Room. Now what's really important here is that you've selected a drum kit that gives you this option where it actually shows all of the different elements of the drum kit. So I'll just pop into the library. Now all of the electronic ones do this. And if you're using a natural drum kit, just make sure that you've got it on a producer kit. So each of them natural drum kits, they've all got a plus version, which is a producer kit, and that gives you them options. Alternatively, if you've done this with, if you've made your beat using audio samples, then you'd go into that sidechain and you'd actually have an audio samples option. Whereas here we've just got into input, instrument. In this case, it's showing us all them different elements. So kick one, and we've got buzzers as well. So instrument, kick one. Now what we should see happening in the compressor, each time the kick drum hits, we've got this the indicator moving, which means it's actually reducing the volume of that bass line. Now when I'm doing sidechain ducking like this, excuse me, I found that some of these different modes provide a sort of better effect. So I think I quite like this vintage Octo one every time I've done this. What I changed there was the threshold. So as it is there at 17.5 decibels, we're not getting an awful lot of movement. So I turned that down until I was seeing quite a lot of movement here. I'm going to raise the ratio a little bit higher to get that more pronounced. And you might be hearing that rhythm start to happen already. Now a couple of settings just to touch upon here. I've turned auto gain off, and by default you may have auto on the attack and release here, so just make sure that's off as well. What we're going to want for this effect to really sort of work is a very low attack, so 0.5 milliseconds. And what we're going to then play with is the release to make the rhythm happen. So the longer the release is, the more time it's going to take for the bass to come back through. Whereas the quicker the release, it's going to take less time for the bass to come back through after the kick has hit. So let's listen to the rhythm that this creates. And if you have that too long, the bass is never going to come back through. So you can hear there about 150 milliseconds. That rhythm's sounding really, really tight with the click there. So without this compression, and with, and this technique works in all sorts of styles. Obviously, I've given you a sort of house techno example here. This is mainly where maybe where you'd most expect to find it. But that's not to say that if you're doing like trap or hip hop, sidechaining your kick and your bass, it's still going to be a good idea because it's going to create some more rhythmic textures, and it's also helps with your production. I'm not sure if you noticed there, but with the compression off, my master goes straight up to -2.2, and with it on, we end up sat at around -5. What that means is we've saved ourselves 3 decibels of headroom, so our track can then be 3 decibels louder. So it's great for production and great for composition as well.